Well, good morning, everybody. Oh, why am I doing that? Oh, welcome to welcome to Esoteric Influences for the 13th day of July, 2020. I keep instead of pulling up my notes, I keep pulling up the file list. It's like no. Oh well, when we taught karate, my husband used to call that taking a picture of something because that's inevitably uh, once a student would start, and it doesn't matter. You could be a black belt. It doesn't matter. You're always a student, and it applies to everybody. Once you, he would call it take a picture of what you're doing in your mind. Then you keep repeating it. And so sometimes if you go home and you practice something wrong, and then you come back and you can't stop it because you've practiced it. And so you get that muscle memory, and it's like taking a picture of it. It's hard to let go of the picture. So he's like, don't take a picture of it. Anyway, so now I trained in our school and I got my black belt with him as my instructor, and and then I became an instructor too. Well, I don't know. I just revert back to it. I don't know. Anyway, happy birthday to our granddaughter. She turns 3 today, so we'll be talking to her later today, and I don't think her presents aren't there yet, but they will be. It's you have to get creative how you do things now. So we finally figured out how to mail this stuff, and so I don't have to go into the post office. And so anyway, and then our grandson turns 1 the end of the month. So yay! She was born on the 13th. He was born on the 31st. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? For someone like me that loves numerology. So anyway. We have a 13th day today of the 7th month in a 22 year. We're going to bring balance to the structural or foundational aspects of our life today and manifest from the standpoint of source vision. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to talk about it. Allow the combined 11 energy of the 7 and 4 to awaken you to fundamental truth. So this is why I changed things about the esoteric influences for the week. If you want those, you won't get the individual human design information for each day. That you'll have to go to either this or the blog to get, because I'm going to do it every day instead of weekly. But if you want to get that, you can go to the blog and sign up for the newsletter. That's over there on the side panel, right in the same area as the Esoteric Influences video and Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune video. You can sign up, just put your email in there. It goes to my newsletter software. I said it right finally. I say my email software, but it's not. It's the newsletter software. So yay, I finally did that one right. And then it just gets added to everybody else that's there. And then on Sundays, you get this in your inbox. Okay, and you'll get it for the whole week, except for the individual days. But I will put all the active channels that are there, at least at the time that I'm doing that. I wanted to do a little bit more here with it, because as the day progresses, maybe other channels become active. And so I thought, I'm not really giving enough of a picture, at least in terms of that. So that's kind of why I decided to do it this way. So just bear with me going forward. Everything is always a work in progress with me. So, I think I like this, the way I'm going to do it though. So I'll do it this way for a while and see how it feels. If I feel like I want to change up, I'll let you know. But otherwise, what am I kicking? I'm kicking tall candles down there on the floor. But anyway, I wanted to just be able to look a little more at more in depth at the numerology, because I do it here anyway. Why not write it up? So it's like, duh. Anyway. But the 7 and a 4, that's the master number 11, and that's illumination and awakening. And in this 22 year of soul, profound soul level change, the 22 is the cosmic builder, and so it's soul level manifestation, which should be commonplace. Instead of manifesting from ego, we should be manifesting from the higher self anyway, seeing everything from that perspective versus the ego's perspective. We see that in the rune today. Sewillow, the 16th rune of the Elder Futhark, is 7 energy, so balance. You can kind of see that structurally there. You can see Kenaz forward and reversed, sort of skewed, not really in their normal presentation, but it's the light of spirit, inward and outward, essentially. It's meaning it's a fire element rune. It's the will, it's spirit, it's energy, self-confidence, healing, higher self, illumination, the link between spirit and form. And with illumination, see, now that's going to align with the combined energies of the month and the day to create that 11 energy. So that's going to align there. So today we're going to seek a higher self perspective. If what you're experiencing today seems deceptive in nature, understand that any deception is by design, and all who benefit are struggling to maintain power and control. Okay, whether it's control of the narrative, control of the truth. We now, one situation I heard of yesterday is the White House is now doing, in effect, oppo research on Dr. Fauci and trying to suggest to the country, well, he's wrong a lot. First of all, you get to a point in something like this and you think a certain way. More research is done. Now we're going to change it. Were you wrong? Well, technically, but this is the... Simple-minded people occupy that White House. It's all, I don't know what else it could be. You know, wake up. Don't do this to this man. We need him. We need his truth because we aren't getting it from them. So, oh, good Lord. November cannot come too soon. The moon's in Aries this morning until it travels into Taurus at 10:34 a.m. my time, Pacific Daylight Time. So here on the West Coast in Oregon. Persistence is favored today, as is taking care of routine or practical matters. That's the Taurus part of it. Persistence, though, is Aries. A square between the moon and Saturn suggests self-esteem issues could arise, particularly if relationships with women in your life are difficult right now. Keep the conversation going, though, but make every attempt to listen to the concerns of others and respect their needs as well as your own. Black Moon Lilith is also in Aries, so right now, so avoid passive-aggressive behavior with others. Now, Lilith is the wild within, okay? She's just... well, you know, they weren't very nice to her, and they cast her out, and, you know, because they didn't like strong women. And so, you know, so she got a little annoyed and kind of took some revenge, probably, but you really can't blame her, you know, because they left her on her own. And so then if that's going to happen, well, just get out of our way, please. Just get out of our way. If this is where you want to put us, get out of our way. We're going to do it ourselves, and you don't want to be in the way of this. That's the attitude. Unfortunately, Lilith doesn't have a whole lot of balance. And so, again, you know, spats could take place between, you know, you and someone else because you see grievance when there really isn't any, when really it's just your own short-sightedness. So be aware of that and avoid passive-aggressive behavior with others today. So down to the human design section, the reason for changing everything. Routine may be favored, but so is thinking outside the box today. Intuition is strong and synchronicities are everywhere. Pay attention to the behavior of others, though, and choose safety over familiarity. And I'll talk about that in a second, the familiarity part of it. Avoid falling prey to deception or propaganda. Instead, focus on nurturing self and others today. Here's the thing. We've got currently, right this moment, we have the 3 channels active: mutation, acceptance, and awareness. Awareness has been active for weeks, telling us to use higher self perception to guide our way forward, to guide our choices, guide how we function right now. But there's some mutation and acceptance there. So change what you can, but otherwise remain vigilant while staying the course here. We're not out of this yet. And the thing about familiarity right now that you have to be careful of, it's easy to fall into that. When we had our field cut yesterday, the guys who came and did it, they're thinking, well, we don't have to be in masks, but they're up by us and we're in masks. And so when we're talking, though, see, we have to stay way far apart because they're not in masks. And they could have just had them on when they talk to us and then pulled them off when they're working, right? That would have been acceptable because they're just going to be out in the big 3-acre pasture. They aren't going to be down where we are. So it's fine. But it would have been better. But you see, they get into a flow of normalcy. And whereas they would have at any other time out and about worn a mask, in that thing, see, they just thought, well, I'm going to be out in the field. And they didn't think about the fact, well, they're going to be around the owners. And so at one point, they were speaking to my husband through we were in the compound area at that point, and they were in the field. And my husband just automatically walked, and I'm like, hey! And he's got a bandana on, but see, they don't have masks on. Increases the chances, right? If everybody has them, it decreases the chances. But if anyone doesn't, I just view them as someone who's asymptomatic, and I'm terrified of them. It's like, wow, if you aren't even going to do that, how do you know you're not sick? See, that's what I mean about familiarity. So try to remember to not go there, because maybe you don't have someone like me going, hey, don't do that. What do you want to do? Quarantine for the next 2 weeks? What do you want? Because, yeah, I said that too. Anyway, I guess that's it. I'll let everybody go. I'll get started on the somewhat daily tarot and rune for the day. And my cards are right here, so we'll get going on that. And then I'm going to do some writing. I'll put the esoteric influences up for today. I'll do the also the correspondences and astrological information. I'll do that too. So if you're working magic today, here's the thing. We are going to have a comet visible. I can't remember the name of it. I learned it last night. We went outside last night. It's going to be in the northwest sky, just below the Big Dipper. And I'm hoping it's supposed to be tonight visible. Tonight through, I don't know, is it the 25th or something of this month? I don't know. They were showing the arc on it on NASA. It was a NASA article or something. Anyway, it's supposed to be visible. And the last time this happened, I think it was Halley's Comet that came by. What was it, the 80s or 90s when that happened? I don't remember. But I went out every night. It was in the sky forever. And I got to see it all the time. And I went out every single night that it was clear to look at it. It was just the most amazing thing. So I'm hoping today that we can see it. I'm hoping I can get a picture of it. If you've been out, if you were out last night, you see Saturn and Jupiter are getting ever closer. I think it's though, let me look here. Okay, where's my calendar? Saturn or Jupiter is in opposition tomorrow. So Jupiter's going to be the closest to us, okay? And it's going to be super bright like it is right now. I've been getting the greatest pictures with my iPhone, so get them if you can, of both Jupiter, and then down here is Saturn. Saturn's going to be in opposition on the new moon on the 20th. So basically, this is just a really cool time. But again, tonight starts that comet. At least, hopefully, we can see it. And I think that it, again, I don't know if it lasts until the 25th or what. I'll just have to go back and look, and I'll let you know. But it's my granddaughter's birthday. And if it's visible in the sky, when she was born, I had planted lilies in the pond. And finally, they took, and I had white lilies the day she was born. Yeah. So anyway, I look at things like this. They mean something to me, but then I'm a witch, so what do you do? Anyway, check out the sky tonight and enjoy your day. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Please wear a mask if you go out. And blessed be.